Hi, today we're here with Judge Anthony DeFino, Judge of the Court of Common Pleas.
My pleasure, sir.
And it's also mine to see you, Judge. I've been looking forward to this interview.
Thank you.
Can we start by you telling us a little bit about your early life, where you were from? And
I was born and raised in South Philadelphia, specifically around Passyunk and Morris, okay? And there was a school in close proximity called Francis Reed. So I went to Francis Reed up until the 6th grade. Then I went to Southwark up until the 9th grade. Then I went to Furness for a year and Southern High, graduated from Southern High.
Okay, great.
I always lived in South Philadelphia and hopefully will continue to live there until the day the good Lord wants me.
I know you're a South Philadelphia guy through and through. This I know. Now, after high school, what happened? Where did you...
Well, after high school, I went into the Army.
Okay.
And I was in the Army close to 2 years. When I was discharged from the Army, I went to Temple Undergraduate School.
Okay.
And after I graduated from Temple with a BS, right?
Yes.
That's a Bachelor of Science, sir.
Yes.
I then went to Temple Law School and graduated in 1956.
Wow, okay, great. Then did you practice law after,
Yes.
graduating?
I was with Judge Meraki, Charles Meraki.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
He
him.
was well known,
Yeah.
and he was had brought in Tasker with his father,
Oh,
and he had Matt Capolino, who eventually became a municipal court judge,
right.
and he was with his dad, who should have been a judge, but the Newberly beat him out in the election.
Okay.
Okay, and there was a Mr. Aleli there also, and then I had Mr. Meraki Sr. as my preceptor. In those days, they had preceptors.
Yeah, what was
Today
that?
What is it?
Yeah.
You have to serve, after you pass the bar, you have to spend 6 months with a lawyer, okay? And he's supposed to be your mentor.
Okay.
And it was another way for him to get 6 months of free legal service. But no, as far as Meraki was concerned, so that I don't leave the assumption that he was cheap,
Yeah.
he paid me.
Okay.
Paid me a decent salary.
Oh, great. And how long did you practice law?
Practiced
for?
law for approximately close to 40 years. And then a friend of mine came in one day and said, the Casey Commission are looking for judges that are qualified. And he says, here's an application, fill it out. I says, no, I was about 60 years old at the time. I said, no, I don't want to be bothered. You better fill that out, because if you don't become a judge, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. So I filled it out. I got an interview before the Casey Commission, which consisted of about 50 people, lawyers, bankers, school teachers, and the first thing they did was say, what are your qualifications? How long did you practice law? In what courtrooms did you practice law? Do you have briefs? Have you written briefs? Have you taken? And I submitted all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, I heard from the governor's lawyer. Now, the governor didn't know me from Adam, Governor Casey. And the lawyer says, you are highly qualified, and as a result thereof, he wants to submit your name to the Senate. And that's how I became a judge, through a friend and through a governor that didn't know me.
Isn't that something?
If he knew me, I probably wouldn't have got that.
I don't think so. I didn't know that the commission was that extensive. I never understood how that happened. I mean,
Yes.
I've known some judges who are
And that's the way it
appointed.
should be now.
Yeah,
But,
rather than the elective process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awful what
A lot.
judges go, what wannabe judges go through,
Yeah,
financially and otherwise.
yeah. I know it's been the subject of a lot of news and media coverage. Now, before I get too far into your career as a judge, I wanted to backtrack a little bit because you're from South Philadelphia. You're also known as a dapper dresser, as a guy with a good sense of humor, but you're also very dedicated to your family. Now, you married Rose Graziano, Nate Graziano,
Right.
and you and she went on to have 8 children.
That's correct.
That's a heck of a family. I came from 5, but 8 is pretty impressive, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then after that, 20 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren.
We got to interject a little humor here.
Yeah,
It's okay with
yeah,
you.
yeah, sure.
Right?
Please.
I used to take my 8 kids on a boardwalk in Warwick,
Yeah.
right? And naturally, everybody looks as if to say, could they all belong to him? And I used to wait until I got close enough, and I used to say, thank God my wife listened to me. We left the other 8 children home.
Man,
I used to get a kick out of it.
I love it. Yeah, that's great. You would have caught me, I'll tell you. Gaping mouth. Now, how did your judicial career, I mean, I know it started through your appointment and
Right.
confirmation by the Senate. And then where did you preside over cases? And
I
what?
preside over all criminal cases.
Uh-huh.
All right? They wanted me to handle some civil cases.
Yeah.
And I says, no. I says, in criminal court, you know who the thieves are. So I was lucky. They kept me there for the whole 19 and a half years.
How about that?
And, what was it? Yeah. 9 years. But don't forget, I was 61 when I went on the bench. So I had 9 years until I reached 70.
Yeah.
Okay? And then they made me sit as a senior judge for 10 years.
Okay.
And then 1 year I served Judge Keogh and Judge Temby
Mhm.
in teaching the new judges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had about 20 years.
Mm-hmm. And then you were also a liaison between the judiciary and...
Right. I worked for Seth Williams,
Uh-huh.
district attorney, great guy.
Yeah.
And he's concerned about keeping a good relationship between the judiciary and the executive branch of the government. And that's my job. And also to teach the new young ADAs and interns
Mhm.
Courtroom decorum
Okay.
and help them in any way that I could possibly help them.
Well, that's great. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty remarkable that you practiced law for 40 years before you became a judge.
Right. Plenty of experience.
For 20 years.
Right.
I'm not going to ask you how old you are right now.
Yeah, you can ask me. 86 years old.
Well, congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. I have nothing to hide. And as long as you don't tell all the girls I'm 86.
Well, listen, over all that time, did you find that the practice of law changed from when you began?
Oh, yes. It changed very much.
Yeah.
Okay? It changed in the respect that during my day,
Yes.
those old-time lawyers
Yeah.
were very, very courteous.
Ah.
Right? And if they gave their word about something, they did. Okay? You sort of have a different breed now. You know?
Okay.
But, I guess they changed with the times.
Yeah.
But I always found them very respectful to me. So I have no complaints.
Hmm. And the courtroom, you said you're now trying to instruct beginning ADAs about courtroom decorum, and has that changed a great deal, or are you...
I think it changed a lot because the system is different now. For example, Seth Williams has a system whereby the municipal courts, the 03 courts and 06 courts on each courtroom, okay?
Yes.
They have a lot of cases every day. They're like somewhat like the districts.
Yeah.
The only thing is, instead of magistrates, as you probably know,
Right.
you have municipal court judges.
Yeah.
So they get sort of perturbed when And you can't fault the ADAs or the defense lawyers
Yeah.
because it's really chaotic. In other words,
Because of the
they're
number of
getting
cases.
witnesses outside, bringing them in.
Yeah.
And sometimes when the ADAs leave without saying, "Judge, could you please excuse me?" They get a little irritated.
I see.
And then I have to go and console them.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, yeah.
I tell them a joke and they forgive it.
You got to keep a lot of those in your pocket.
Right.
Yeah. Did you ever have somebody who you looked up to and admired, or was there someone in the law who, you know?
Oh, there were plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty. And for example, my own boss, Judge Meraki,
Yes.
I looked up to him. His father,
Yeah.
I looked up to, because they were the type of people, and that's why I stayed with them. I had a chance to go with some big law firms. You know, they didn't throw you out if you didn't have the money. Okay?
Mhm.
If you had a good cause,
Yes.
they would go forward with it.
Yeah.
And they taught us those values.
Yeah, well, that's honorable.
And yeah,
Yeah, I knew Judge Meraki, who was he your immediate boss?
yes.
Yes. At the time when you were practicing law, and he just seemed to me to be a real guy, like a very real person, without any, you
Right,
know, stuff
without any
along the
fanfare.
edge. Yeah, right.
And he was great as a judge too.
Yeah. Okay. So you're still working. You've been working in the legal field for over 50 years.
Right.
And I also noticed that you're well, at least at one time involved with the Sons of Italy. And
Mostly the Order of Brotherly Love.
oh, okay.
That was another fraternal organization,
yes.
which was much smaller than the Sons of Italy.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I became the Grand Master. In fact, that's where Judge Bradley and I used to have all of our humorous
Oh, okay.
relationships.
Yeah, okay.
Because we had banquets, and I would be the Toastmaster, and I would jump all over him. And then when he got a chance, you bring this up tomorrow.
I will. I'm
You tell
interviewing
him.
the judge tomorrow.
And then, after the OBL was disbanded, Order of Brotherly Love,
Yeah.
then I became active in the Sons of Italy.
Oh,
I
okay.
formulated the Frank Palumbo Lodge. And I'm
Oh.
pretty sure you knew who Frank Palumbo was.
Yes, I definitely knew who Frank Palumbo was. A South Philadelphia star, practically, who had a restaurant, and he was a very civic-minded individual down there.
Yes.
Where I've been to his place, what was his place, many, many times, yeah.
Many banquets there.
Yes, that's exactly what I was there for, as a matter of fact. Judge, what do you consider to be the most important part of your life?
The most important part of my life is my family.
Uh-huh.
Married to a beautiful woman for 62 years.
Yeah.
We celebrated our 60th wedding anniversary approximately 2 years ago. And she gave us 8 beautiful children,
That's great.
one of whom we lost.
Mm.
Good Lord took her when she was 50 years of age.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My other children are all doing well,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 of them, as you undoubtedly know, are lawyers.
Yes.
2 of them have a law firm together,
Mhm.
and they hire, I think, several lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter sits on the Court of Common Pleas and is presently listening to homicide cases.
That's Rosemary.
That's Rosemary
Yeah.
Nastasi DeFino.
Okay.
Rosemary DeFino
And
Nastasi.
Nastasi, right.
And the most memorable thing about her ascending to the bench
Yeah.
is that the Inquirer had a big article when she ascended to the bench stating that we were the only father and daughter sitting in the Court of Common Pleas at the same time.
How about
And that was a very memorable moment.
Yeah, I'll bet. Judge, I want to thank you again for coming today and giving us your wisdom of all your time practicing law and on the bench. And I appreciate your being here with us for this program.
I want to thank you very much. It was a privilege to be here.
Okay, it's great. It's Judge Anthony J. DeFino of the Court of Common Pleas of the First Judicial District of Pennsylvania. Thank you, Judge.
My pleasure.